What I would like to talk about is sort of the different. You spent a lot of time on religion and God and things like that. One of the things that the court said, and one of the things that we all have to understand, that is hard to understand, is that there is religious marriage and then there's government marriage. And in general, in this country, government tries to stay out of the God business. So when folks go to apply for a marriage license, for example, nobody puts them through any religious tests. We let atheists marry sort of in fact, we'll let an atheist marry 16 times. We've let Larry King have 7 marriage licenses, and we'll give him 7 more as long as he divorces the blondes consecutively and then asks for a new one. Jennifer Lopez is young, but we have high hopes for her. She said 2. Lyle and Eric Menendez got marriage licenses in prison to their pen pals. Unfettered, unquestioned right, just because they're heterosexual human beings. And those are certainly marriages that would not pass most people's religious tests. I'm hard-pressed to find a clergy person who might want to bless that marriage. But they can do that. They had Twinkies out of the prison vending machine instead of wedding cake. And they'll never consummate their marriages, by the way. They'll never get out of prison, and they have no conjugal visits. So it's hardly a procreation issue. Anyway, any heterosexual in this country, provided you can have a little bit of a heartbeat and spell your name, you can actually meet a stranger in a coffee shop in the morning and get married that afternoon. Nobody asks you any questions, as long as it's not your cousin. And in some states, that's all right. And religions, on the other hand, have some extraordinary rules about who can marry whom, and actually we navigate those 2 kinds of marriages very well in this country. We have a lot of experience doing it, right? There's some religions that won't marry people of a different faith. There's some religions that won't accept the remarriage of a divorced person. And today there are religions that do bless same-sex couples, and there's no marriage license in sight until sometime in May. So I do have a question, which is, do you at all sort of respect or see that there is religious marriage, which I don't think anyone would ever pretend to tell anybody what to do in that regard, and government marriage, which operates with a few basic, simple rules that most people actually forget about. It's so simple, and they sort of think that the real marriage is their wedding day in church. Do you see those 2 things as separate, and is there anything in sort of government marriage that could possibly make you more comfortable with allowing me, for example, to have what Lyle and Eric Menendez can have just because they want it? Why you draw the line at me?